Police, they are meant to protect us, but recently the citizens don't see them as protectors anymore. Why? Is it because they're using their badges for their own benefit? Is it because they think they're superiors? Or is it because the public doesn't want to let go of the idea they already formed of all law enforcement based on the actions of a few?
Okay. How did you get into law enforcement?
I actually went to. I guess it's always been a passion. I guess going back to when I was in college, that's when I started to think about a career in law enforcement. I went to Delaware State University, and I studied criminal justice and sociology there. And I finished there in 1993. And then after I was in Delaware, so I was looking for jobs up in that area, in the I guess the northeast area, and I tried for a couple police agencies, but at that time, like law enforcement wasn't hiring as much as they are now, so it was a little bit harder. They were a little bit more selective and harder to get on. So eventually, I worked my way down here to Georgia. Had a family member that worked for the Georgia State Patrol, so my grandmother, and at that time she asked me to come down and apply, and I applied and went through the process, and I became a Georgia State Trooper. So I did that for 7 years, and then that's how I've been in law enforcement since then. Well, been certified since 1995.
Very cool. So you've been in this kind of area for a while now.
Right, right.
Having said that, what is your favorite part about your job?
Helping people. When people are, I want to give a good image of law enforcement, that we help people. We just don't, as far as go out and, of course, we go out and protect and serve, but, if someone needs help with just, directions or something where you can kind of show a different side of law enforcement, I enjoy that, where we show that we're people just like them. It's just a job, and we're there to protect them and serve them.
There you go. You mentioned something about the public appearance of law enforcement. The third question is, what is your opinion on the public's view of law enforcement? It's a controversial, topic. What are your opinion on that?
I think it's kind of like some of us, of course, I think the bad guys, they don't like us. But as far as the general public, I think that they pretty much like us and appreciate us for what we do. So especially, especially now, recently I've seen, because of, unfortunately, a lot of law enforcement officers have been injured and killed a lot recently. So I see a lot of appreciation where I go somewhere, maybe in uniform, and someone will say thank you for your service, or they may sometimes even try to offer to pay for our meal or wherever we're at. So I think it's gotten a little bit better now, but of course it's in some situations it's gotten dangerous, because the bad guys have gotten a little bit more bolder as far as their actions.
Right.
So
First question: how did you get involved in law enforcement?
About 11 and a half years ago, I was working in security at Walmart and got to know the local law enforcement very well, interacting with them, locking up shoplifters. They would do the transport for us, and got to know them. They brought me some material, thought I'd be a good candidate for police work, and I said, nope, I'm too old. I was 32. And the chief came and said, no, you got what it takes. And so at 32, I entered the police academy, and been here 11 and a half years since, and I love it. So just on a whim, just changed careers.
Wow. Okay. Fantastic. Well, what's your favorite part about doing this job?
A lot of people get into it and say, I want to help people, and that's really fun. That's good to help people. But we get to see the good and the bad in law enforcement, and I love that side of it. I love that we lock people up because they need to, but we can also change a tire. Or this morning we took 2 young kids to school that missed the bus, and their mom was punishing them by making them walk to school. So I love being able to do all that and be involved with the community. I'm really involved with the kids and the community, and just being that positive role model to some kids who may not have one.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Now this next question is a little bit controversial. What is your opinion on the public's view of law enforcement?
It's right now it's tough because we brought it on ourselves somewhat. When I say we, I mean law enforcement as a whole, because if one of us does it, it affects the rest of us. That one bad apple can spoil the bunch for a while, and then we've got to rebuild a reputation that we may not have had a hand in destroying, but we have to rebuild it in our communities, and we can't do it on an entire scale. The world's not going to change overnight. So we go each person in the community as we come in contact with them. We still do our jobs. We still have to be tactical. We still have to make arrests. We still have to go home at night. But we can do that with a sense of caring too. and showing them that we're humans. We just have a job to do, and it's a very tough job. But we are very, very fortunate here in Snellville. We've got a great community. We've got great citizens. They take care of us. They love us, and so it's easier around here than some other parts. But we've done it to ourselves a little bit by some of the stupid mistakes we've made in law enforcement, and those officers should pay. I mean, we're humans too. We're going to make mistakes, but we also need to be held accountable. But when people would walk in our shoes for 1 second and see what we do day to day, they would kind of understand that it's a little tougher than it looks. They watch the crime TV shows, they watch cops, and it seems all fun. It seems all glorious, and it's not. You know, it's a lot of beating down for that 1 minute of feeling good, to helping someone, and it just makes it all worth it there. So to answer your question and wrap it up, it's tough right now being law enforcement. People hate law enforcement, period. It doesn't matter your skin, doesn't matter your age, your ethnicity. They hate law enforcement because of a lot of what the media has done. And like a lot of other groups in our nation, you've got 1% of a group who makes the entire group look bad. And that's what we're going through. But we'll get through it. We always have. The great thing about law enforcement is people either need us or want us.
Of course.
So I think it's a positive. I really do. It's a way to build.
I agree. Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
A society that wants to make war with police had better learn to make friends with its criminals.